Hi guys, and welcome to another video from Stupid is the Norm, the channel where we demonstrate how to make £1 million in 10 years on minimum wage. And in this video I want to explain to you, I want to walk you through my first property refinance. So 2 years ago I bought my first property. It cost me £20,000 all in to buy it, and at that time the value, I bought it for £63,000. Now it wasn't worth £63,000, I know, because somebody who found it for me, my property sourcer, said it's well below value and it's probably worth closer to £80,000. So I got it at 63 though. Now a lender will lend money based upon the purchase price, not what you think it's worth. And the lender says, okay, we'll let you purchase it at that, we'll agree with that valuation, and we will lend you 75% of the valuation, which is £47,250. So that's how much the borrowing was, and the difference was between the two was a deposit that I personally had to put in. Now it was on a mortgage, of course, so the mortgage was £87 a month to service at a rate of 2.2%. And that lender, just in case you're interested, was Birmingham Midshires, who is probably the UK's largest buy-to-let lender. Now fast forward 2 years, and property prices have gone up, and not forgetting I got it at a discount as well. I say property prices have gone up, but right now in the UK it's actually Christmas Day. It's Christmas Day in 2022, and my wife's a nurse, so she's at work, and like Kevin, I'm home alone, so I thought I'd do this video. So it's 2 years hence, and although the value's gone up, mortgage values are coming down right now. And when I went to revalue it with TMW, which is the mortgage works, I had to do it with TMW because Birmingham Midshires wouldn't allow me to refinance it and pull money out, but TMW would. So I've swapped lenders here. And one of the things they ask you on the mortgage application form is how much do you think it's worth? And I said, I think it's worth 90,000. Now I know that they're instructing their valuers to be cautious and down value where possible, just in case I default on my mortgage and the lender has to repossess and do a forced sale, that is, sell it quickly at lower than it's worth, and they want to make sure they get the money. So they're down value on properties. So if I say it's £90,000 and they agree with me, I know they think it's worth £100,000. So that filled me with a great deal of optimism and hope. So they're going to lend me, the new lender, 75% of that, which is £67,500. And here's the kicker. The mortgage has gone from 87 to 258 because the mortgage interest, as I said, it's Christmas Day in 2022, interest rates have gone up. In fact, the interest rates have more than doubled on this one. So why hasn't that doubled just to 174? Why has it gone to 258? Because I've borrowed more money. And again, I say that with TMW. Now I've borrowed more money. Let's see how that works. How do I get the money out physically? So here's the two mortgages. There's the new one at 67,500. There's the older one with Birmingham Midshires at 47,250. The difference between two, the balance is 2250. So how it works, and you have nothing to do with this if you're doing this yourself, the lenders and the solicitors will do it all for you. Incidentally, by the way, when I went with TMW, there was no solicitors fees to pay because I still own the property. They don't have to make any changes to land registry. All they're doing is switching lenders. There is a little legal cost, but they're swallowing the cost as part of their deal. So the difference between the two is 2250. And how it works is TMW will then pay off BM Midshires, and the balance between the two, this 2250, they will send direct to me. And this comes out tax-free. Why is it tax-free? Why have I just got £20,250 tax-free? Well, that's because it's a debt. It's a mortgage, and you don't pay tax on a debt. Now, where this leaves me is that I said to buy my first property, my acquisition costs, including deposit, legal, stamp duty, came to just about 20,000. So by taking that out there, I now have the money to buy another property without having to put any more money in. Two ways you can look at this. Either I've just gotten my money out, so I'm going to recycle my money, or my money's still in because it still is part of the deposit, and this is free money. So the next property I buy, should I buy another one of these buy-to-lets, I don't have to put any money in, so it's a free property. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to buy a buy-to-let property. I'm going to move into serviced accommodation. If you've been watching some of my earlier videos, you'll already know that. But here's the reason why. The rent on this property is $550. Just because I've raised the mortgage, I haven't raised the rent. The rent estate remains the same, so it's £550 a month. The management fees are $55, which leaves me $495. But the mortgage on the new property has gone up to $258. Previously it was $87. There was plenty of meat in there to continue make it worthwhile buying buy-to-lets. But now my meat, what's left of my profit is £237 only. And that doesn't take into account should I have any voids or any maintenance issues and that sort of thing. So quickly, let's say a boiler goes and it costs you 1,500, £2,000 to put a boiler in, depending what sort of boiler you've got, of course. That can quickly be gobbled up, and so you make nothing over the year if something catastrophic happens. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use that money to go into serviced accommodation. That's not enough money. I'm going to need about £40,000 to get in there. I've got £12,000 so in a savings account already, so I'm up to 32. So it looks like I'm going to take me to March, April time to save the rest of the balance in order to get my serviced accommodation property. There's kind of a broader question here about, is that how we keep on doing this? Is this a method to keep moving forward with? That is to say, do we, as the property rises, do we keep drawing more money to reinvest? And I asked this question of a guru on Instagram, big property, you see him everywhere on Instagram. And I said, what do you think is the best finance model for these things? Is it to keep it at 75%? And he said, oh yeah, 75%, just keep on drawing your money out of it. And I said, well, I actually agree with that to an extent. I agree with it if you're at the growth stage where you're quickly trying to get to that £1 million or whatever your goal is, and therefore you're willing to take a risk, if that's in your character, to take risks, to keep remortgaging up to 75% of that higher value of the property in order to reinvest and buy properties as fast as you can. I don't think, however, I'd prefer to do it longer term. When I get to my goal, what I like to see, what I prefer to do is to get the loan to value at about 50% and not 75%. And I want to do that because for two reasons. First of all, if there's a catastrophic failure in the housing market and house prices drop rapidly, I'm not going to find myself in negative equity because I'm only at 50% loan to value. And the other reason is if another opportunity comes along and I need to refinance all the properties quickly in order to draw out some more income, then I have 25% of its value sitting in all these properties. Remember, the lender will only lend up to 75%. And if I'm at 50%, I can draw out 25%. And that gives me an opportunity to reinvest in something should something better come along. So I want to leave a bit of meat in there as well. Well, that's how I've done it, guys. I said I'm going to buy my first service accommodation in 3 or 4 months' time. I'll do another video at the time running through the costs of that because my first time and I don't know how it's going to work out. But rest assured, I'll keep you all informed as I go and let you know all my failures and successes on the way. In the meantime, have a Merry Christmas, guys. Don't be stupid and don't be normal.